Sometimes it feels like love's so far out of reach, like a mountain too high to climb. Feels like such an impossible feat. And I know how you're hurting. You want to protect your heart. I've been there too. Take a look around. There's so much love to be found, especially inside of me and you. When you give with love, live your life with love, have faith, be in the flow. That's how life changes, and that's how love grows. When you give, you will receive. That's what I truly believe about the love inside of you and me. Sometimes it feels like life's just one big bill to pay. Same old story, and it's always gonna stay that way. Ooh, always gonna stay that way. But we can change our way of thinking, change the way that we feel. Take a look around, there's so much love to be found. Love's what's really real. When we give with love, live our lives with love, have faith, be in the flow, and that's how love changes, and that's how it grows. When you give, you will receive. Isn't that right? That's what I truly believe about the love inside of you and me. When you give with love, live your life with love, have faith, be in the flow. That's how love changes, that's how we all grow. When you give, you will receive. That's how I believe we're gonna find love inside of you and me. When you give love, I know that's how it's gonna be.
Please join me in prayer. We give thanks for this opportunity to come together yet again to celebrate our oneness as we continue to explore higher, deeper love through the month of June. We know that God is all there is and that God is love. Love makes everything better. I give thanks for the opportunity to say these words and for everyone who's come together to make this service possible. I know that everything that takes place here today will be absolutely perfect in every way as we explore what's love got to do with it. Young Dr. David's going to tell us. I know that Spirit continues to move through him, as him, delivering inspirational messages that give us the tools to make better lives for ourselves. We love this way of life. We love this teaching. We are so grateful for it. We're so grateful for every expression of the divine that has come together to make this service possible, and for others who are here to lend their love and light to our process, to celebrate our oneness together. I give thanks for everyone in this space, everyone within the sound of my voice, everyone in this beautiful universe of ours, and release these words into the law where they're already done in that divine universal mind, at the intersection of right here and right now. I let this go, I let it be. Together we affirm, and so it is. And I've got 3 wonderful selections from the writings of Ernest Holmes. First, he says, find one person who no longer has any fear of the universe or of God or of man or of anything else, and you will have brought to me someone in whose presence we may sit, and fear shall vanish as clouds before the sunlight. Our second reading from him. When we learn to trust the universe, we shall be happy, prosperous, and well. We must learn to come under that divine government and accept the fact that nature's table is ever filled. Finally, he says, we must cleave to the good and trust absolutely in the law of God to bring about any desired end.
Well, good afternoon, New Dawn. So good to see you. I love it. My buddy John says, it's better to be seen than to be viewed. I'm like, oh, I like that a lot. I may not always footnote you, but I will continue to use it. And happy solstice, happy longest day of the year. So grateful to be able to spend part of it with you. And thank you for choosing to be here. What a delightful time we are having as we explore a higher, deeper love. And today, what's love got to do with it? Now, I don't know about you, but as soon as I hear that, I'm thinking Tina Turner doing her thing, right? So I reached out to our beloved Karen, and I said, Karen, I'd love to hear your rendition of What's Love Got to Do with It? And of course, she doesn't miss a beat. She says, David, I'll do the lyrics if you do the dance. And really nobody would want that. So we respectfully declined, and we went with some of Karen's original music instead. So, and I just made that whole story up, but it sounded kind of fun. You okay with that?
Good, yes.
So how good it is to be together. And this day is Father's Day. And similarly to when we honored mothers and all the divine feminine in all of us, today we honor the divine masculine in all of us, regardless of gender. For some people, Father's Day is joyful. For others, it's complicated. We understand that. For some, it brings gratitude. For others, grief. For some, treasured memories. For others, unanswered questions. So wherever you are on that journey, thank you for being here, and we honor you. And you know this, you don't need to hear it from me or anybody else, but I have a need to speak it. Wherever you are on that journey, there's nothing wrong here. So Thank you for leaning into us. Thank you for leaning into this community. For many people, the word father extends far beyond biology. Some were raised by stepfathers, some by grandfathers, some by uncles, some by gunkles, some by coaches, some by teachers, some by mentors, neighbors, two moms, single moms who somehow managed to be everything, two dads, or people whose greatest gift was simply showing up when someone needed them. So what we know is that fatherhood is not ultimately about gender. It is about presence. It's about responsibility. It's about guidance. It's about love expressed through commitment. Today, we honor all who have fathered, all who have guided, all who have protected, all who have encouraged, all who have shown up, and we do so recognizing that there are as many different stories as there are people on the planet. So today at New Dawn, my friends, there is room for gratitude. There is room here for grief. There is room here for healing. And most of all, there is room here for love. So when I share, I would appreciate it if you would respond, love connects us all. Love connects us all. We belong to one another.
Love connects us all.
Every life has value.
Love connects us all.
Every heart seeks understanding.
Love connects us all.
Together we rise.
Love connects us all.
And so, our question for the day is, what's love got to do with it? And the short answer, spoiler alert, everything. Yeah, you knew that. You don't need me. Because every healthy fathering relationship, whether biological or chosen, rests on love. And every healing relationship begins with love. So the first thing I want to invite you into is love is part of our shared human story. Every family carries gifts. Every family carries wounds. Every family thinks their family puts the fun in dysfunctional. Every family carries lessons. Every family carries wisdom. None of us arrive as blank slates. We inherit stories, values, beliefs, patterns, strengths, and yes, sometimes pain. The beautiful thing is that love allows us to hold all of it with compassion. That's part of our deal, right? Of being spiritual beings, having this human experience. We get to hold that tension of the opposite. We get to love when we don't necessarily like. We get to continue to show up when perhaps we'd rather be home, reading a book, lying on the couch, or watching the latest miniseries, right? The gifts and the wounds, the successes and the mistakes, the people who got it right, the people who did the best they could with what they had. Love allows us to see our shared humanity, and in doing so, it opens the door to healing. I have shared with you one of the organizations that I continue to support is the Laboratory to Combat Human Trafficking. I've been a board member with LCHT. I've supported their work for well over 10 years now. And I recently facilitated a board and staff retreat, a workshop for them. And we did the emergenetics profile that we're introducing here at New Dawn. And for the first time in my career, I just got this beautiful thank you video from board members, from staff members, from the founders of the organization. There are 12 or 15 different folks, and they all said thank you in different ways. Thank you for my time, for my energy, for my effort, for my support, for bringing the tool to help them understand themselves. One person said she thinks emergenetics saved her marriage in learning her thinking and behavioral attributes and how she might communicate more powerfully one-to-one. And so that, to me, of course, none of us volunteer. For so many of you who put in so many hours here at New Dawn, none of us volunteers for the thanks. We volunteer because it makes our hearts happy. We volunteer because we enjoy the family of choice that we choose to be with. And Carol said it so beautifully today. She, of course, loves her blood and her biological family, and she loves the extended family that is New Dawn, as do I. And as I do with my family of choice with the Laboratory to Combat Human Trafficking, doing such important work in our city, in our state, and around the world. So that is part of our shared human story. Thank you wherever you give your time, your talent, your treasure. In addition to New Dawn, I know that we are involved in so many aspects of our communities, and I know just a little bit. And thank you for all that you do in your volunteer efforts. The second thing I want to invite you into is that love invites us into healing. That is what I suggested, that's where all healing starts. One of the greatest acts of courage is honestly facing what needs to be healed. Love doesn't ask us to forgive the past. It asks us to transform our relationship with it. As I touched on, for some, Father's Day brings gratitude. For some, forgiveness. For others, the opportunity to grieve that which never was. All of these responses are valid. Love makes room for all of them, and healing begins when we simply stop pretending. We acknowledge what is true. We honor our experience without allowing it to define our future. Love becomes the space where healing happens. Not because the past changes, but because we do. So I have shared with you that I was born the youngest of 3 biological boys. We were all 2 years apart. My oldest brother was born in 56, my second brother in 58, and I was born in 1960, and Mom and Dad thought they couldn't do any better, so they stopped with me. Or perhaps they didn't want to do worse, who knows? But I'm entitled to my story. So, as we became adults and our lives twisted and turned and merged and weaved and zigged and zagged, my mother made her transition very early at 57 in 1990. And so my dad was navigating life with these 3 adult boys. And my short story is my oldest sibling, as I've shared with you, was transgender. My brother, Randy, with a Y, became my sister, Randy, with an I. And my middle brother lives in Colorado Springs, has a thriving law practice there, and is part of the evangelical Christian movement. And growing up, Doug identified most with my dad. My dad identified culturally as a Jew, not necessarily religiously. Doug had this massive Israeli flag in his room, and his words, he was going to be the first Jewish quarterback of Notre Dame. So he went from that to evangelical Christianity. And then here I was, hey, don't laugh before I say anything over there. And here I was, the one who was living and loving differently. And in my humble opinion, I was the most normal of the 3 of us. And my dad, the metaphor strikes me that he was a bit like Tevye, the main character in Fiddler on the Roof. Tevye and his wife had 5 daughters. And each one of the daughters did something that challenged the father from his religious and spiritual tradition just a little bit more. The oldest daughter fell in love with somebody in the village without the help of a matchmaker. And so he got to work through his existential crisis with that and came to accept it, and he could grow and expand a little bit. And then the second daughter fell in love with a traveling scholar, with a traveling teacher. Oh my gosh, not only was the matchmaker not involved, but he wasn't even from the same village. And so Tevye was able to grow and expand and come to peace with his God about that. And then the third daughter fell in love with somebody outside of the faith. He was not a Jew, he was a Russian Orthodox, and they got married in secret. They didn't talk about it, they didn't do anything, they just announced that they were married. To which Tevye responded, "I can only bend so far." So a big chunk of this story is his distancing himself from his daughter and then finally recognizing her. And, to a certain degree, that was my dear dad, having to work through all of this stuff by himself, basically, with my mom being gone, and still loving my oldest sibling, and still participating in the lives of my brother and his family in the church in Colorado Springs, and still choosing to go on vacation with my partner and me as we were together for 18 years. And I have to think that that wasn't easy for him. And I do believe that it was love that invited us together into that healing. So that is that's my thought around that. And then the third piece is how love reveals our interdependence. One of the most beautiful truths in life is that none of us got here alone. Someone encouraged us, someone taught us, someone believed in us, someone opened a door. Somebody saw something in us and they said yes. Someone gave us another chance. Someone saw potential we couldn't yet see. So what we know, my friends, is that we belong to one another. The wisdom of fathers, mentors, teachers, friends, and spiritual guides lives on in each of us. And now we become that presence for others. Love reveals that our lives are interconnected. Our well-being is connected. Our healing is connected. Our growth is connected. And our future is most assuredly connected. I'm reminded of my wonderful niece, my favorite niece. I have 5 nephews and 1 niece, so she's always my favorite. And when Callie got married, her dad, my oldest sibling, had chosen to leave the planet. And Callie said, "Uncle Dave, you're the closest thing I have to a dad. Would you walk me down the aisle?" And I said, "Honey, nothing would bring me greater joy." And then as we got closer to the date, she was thinking about it, and I could tell that something was on her mind. And I said, "What are you thinking about? What's going on? Talk to me. We've always talked." She said, "Uncle Dave, I know that I asked you to walk me down the aisle, but I feel really close to my stepdad, and he really stepped up for me, and I love him, and I want him to be a part of this ceremony." And I said, "Honey, absolutely. This is not about me. This is about you and your beloved. Whatever you need to do, you know this, and I'm putting all my cards on the table here. You can do no wrong." So she said, "Uncle Dave, would it be okay if Pat walked me down the aisle and you married us?" And I said yes. So that is what we know, my friends. Things change, time changes, people evolve. We are all here to learn, grow, and expand. You're not the same as you were yesterday, let alone 20 or 30 or 50 years ago. Neither is anybody else on the planet. So that is where our independence lies. You've also heard me referred perhaps a few too many times to my travels and my work with Up With People. And one of the songs that was in the Up With People show from the very beginning in 1965 until the organization closed its doors was the song, What Color Is God's Skin? And the verbiage, the lyric, is based on a conversation between a little boy and his father. And the opening lyric is, "Good night, I said to my little son, so tired out when the day was done. Then he said, as I tucked him in, tell me, Daddy, what color is God's skin?" He looked at me with those shining eyes. I knew I could tell no lies when he said, "Daddy, why do the different races fight if we're the same in the good Lord's sight?" Son, that's part of our suffering past, but the whole human family is learning at last that the thing we missed on the road we trod is walking as the daughters and the sons of God. So I got to sing that all over the world for the 2 years I traveled to 8 countries on 3 continents in several languages. And no, I don't speak any other languages. It was slaughtered, but hopefully the intention and the feeling came across. And that is what we know to be true, my friends. Again, speaking of our independence, the thing we missed on the road we trod is walking as the daughters and the sons of God. And that is what we are inviting folks into. And how do we live that then at New Dawn? Well, we honor the sacred interconnectedness of life. We create space for people to bring their whole story, including joy, including grief, including gratitude, including healing. Second, we recognize that wisdom can come through many voices, many experiences, and many forms of family. Third, we actively cultivate a community where people support one another's growth and spiritual evolution. You have heard me say before, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I wouldn't be that bold. I am here to encourage you to believe in something. And we understand that none of us walks this path alone. So on this day, then, on Father's Day, we honor those who have shown us the way. The fathers who were present, the mentors who stepped in, the teachers who believed, the coaches who encouraged, the friends who guided, the elders who inspired. And yes, we honor those relationships that remain unfinished, because love is large enough to hold all of it. So if today's question is, what's love got to do with it? The answer is simple. Love is the thread connecting every meaningful relationship. Love is the bridge between generations. Love is the force that helps us heal. Love is the presence that reminds us we belong to one another. And most of all, love connects us all. Please join me in prayer. Practitioners, if you would stand in consciousness. There's one life, one love, one divine presence expressing through all creation. Today we give thanks for every person who has guided, encouraged, protected, mentored, nurtured, and loved. We give thanks for fathers and father figures of every kind. We give thanks for the lessons learned, the wisdom shared, and the lives touched. I know that healing is present wherever it is needed. I know that peace is available wherever there has been hurt. I know that gratitude fills every heart ready to receive. I know that New Dawn continues to be a community of connection, compassion, and belonging. And I know that love connects us all. With deep gratitude, I release this prayer into the creative action of the law as we say together, and so it is, and so I am, and so we are.
I have a song that I wrote before my dad passed away, and I often say to everybody, I want to be the Say I Love You girl. I don't think we've done Say I Love You since the changeover happened, but we might have done it years ago. But I'm going to teach you the chorus, and I think there's no better comment in the world than love connects us all. I mean, that says it for me. So here's it's not hard, I promise. And the lyrics are up on the screen. You won't need them if you're used to listening and learning that way, Mr. Mock. So here's how the chorus goes. It goes like this. Say, hang on. Say, I love you. Say, I do. It's easy so far, right? Say, I love you. It's as simple as that. I think that's backwards. It's a matter of fact. As simple as that. I love you. Well, what did I say on the lyrics? Tell me. Since I'm always moving things here. Matter of fact, simple as that. There you go. That's what we'll do. I listened to the recording today, and that's how it was. Matter of fact, simple as that. Then I listened to my video. It was the other way around. So I thought, oh, God, I'm in trouble, right? All right. Let's try. Let's just try. Listen first. Say, I love you. Your turn. 1, 2, ready, go. Say, I love you. And listen. Say, I do. Your turn. Here we go. Hang on. Here we go. Say, I do. Say, I love you again. Say, I love you. Matter of fact. It's a matter of fact. As simple as that. I love you. Yeah, I stopped playing because I just wanted to hear if you were really singing, and you were. God bless you all. All right. So I'll help you along the way. And anybody that really likes to sing loud, Dr. David, we can all help us out because we're all connected together doing this. How does that sound? Too many times I've had this feeling and then let it slip away. Too many excuses, too many reasons I didn't say what I wanted to say. Too many times I was afraid you wouldn't feel the way I do. Before it's too late, before you turn away, I've got to find the courage to. Here we go, my friends. Say, I love you. Say, I do. Say, I do. Say, I love you again. Here we go. Say, just like that. I love you. I can hear you. It's a matter it too. Right. Say I love you. Say I love you. It's as simple as a matter of fact. It's a matter of fact. As simple as that. I love you. Why are three little words so hard to say when they can change a life or touch a heart in so many amazing ways? So, how about if you grab somebody's hand? Or, if not, just think of somebody you love to the moon and back. How would that be? And we're going to start a little soft, and then we're going to rock this baby all the way home. Ready? Say